This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. This is our Erev Shabbos Shiur, because tomorrow, Bez Hashem, I'm going to be traveling to Columbus, Ohio for Shabbos. I have the opportunity to give Shiurim there. I want to share with you some insights on Parshas Korach. The pasuk says, Vayikach Korach, and Korach took. The obvious question is, so what did he take? And he took what? He took what? Rashi is bothered by this immediately. Rashi says, well, it means that he took himself to one side to be separate from the rest of the community to challenge the kahuna. But it's still Iker Chaser Min HaSefer. The main thing is missing over here. It says Vayikach Korach, and Korach took. The Torah doesn't say what he took. Very peculiar. Rashi doesn't even say that Hareza Mikra Chaser. It's missing. So it occurred to me that perhaps the Torah is identifying the source of Korach's downfall. Namely, why was he after so much kavod? He needed the Nesios, he was jealous of the Nesios, he was jealous of the Kuna Gedola, and the reason is Vayikach Korach, because Korach took what? Everything. He was a taker. He was always taking. Vayikach, and he took. It's a description of him. He was someone who, and he took. And he took. What did he take? Whatever was available. That's the source of his downfall, because he was Vayikach. He was somebody who took. Okay. This, I believe this next question, I said this over earlier in the week, but I want to reiterate, and this is a very important nekuda. Because Rashi, in Perek Tezayin, Pasuk Zayin, Rashi says, Korach was a very wise man. What did he see to get involved in this foolishness? Rashi says his eye fooled him. He saw a great lineage coming from him. He says, well, obviously I'm going to come out on top. The question is, why is Rashi asking, why did Korach do this? Rashi in the first pasuk asks that question. Uma ra Korach lachloik Moshe. What did Korach see fit to argue on Moshe? And Rashi says he was jealous about the appointment of the Nesios of Elitzaphan ben Uziel. He said, my father was one of 4 siblings. Amram was the oldest son of Kahas, so his oldest son took, his 2 sons took Gedula and Malchus. So the next position, the Nesios, should belong to me. Why is it going to the son of the 4th brother? So why is Rashi later on asking, Korach, what did he see fit to get involved in this foolishness? Rashi already asked that question in the opening pasuk. Rashi gives a totally different answer. Also, why the first time Rashi just says, why did he get involved, and the second time says, why did he get involved in this foolishness? Why the first time doesn't Rashi call it foolishness? And furthermore, if you read the Rashis, it seems like there were 2 things Korach was jealous of. At first, Rashi says he was jealous of the Nesios, the appointment of Elitzaphan ben Uziel. But later on, Rashi says many times, Korach was after the Kahuna Gedola. Rashi says in Pasuk Gimel, Umadua tisnasu, loy hayil chalavar la'achicha kahuna. So I think the answer to all of this is very simple. At first, the reason why Korach got started with this is because he was jealous about the appointment of the Nesios of Elitzaphan. And that's a valid taina. That's a logical taina. Look, the father had 4 siblings. The oldest one got the Kahuna and the Malchus, so the next one should get the Nesios. Obviously, it's a wrong taina, but it's not shtus. It's not foolishness. It's reasonable taina. So, an innocent bystander would taka wonder. The next brother should get it, not the 4th brother. So that Rashi is just asking, why did Korach get involved? Rashi doesn't call it foolishness. So Rashi says Korach got involved. He was jealous, and Rashi outlines the jealousy, but it was rational and reasonable, but wrong. But now the question is, why is he going after the kahuna? That's stam stupidity, because he knows Amram's the oldest brother. That's shtus. So now Rashi's bothered. See, what happened was, once you get involved in a fight, it snowballs. Like the Shlach Kadosh says in Parshas, Lech lecha. Vayihi riv. And then Avram says, Al tihi meriva. It always starts off, riv is a small argument. Meriva is once it's snowballed. So Korach began with a reasonable taina, but it snowballed into foolishness. So Rashi says, why did Korach have this foolishness? That's because his eye tricked him. He saw the lineage. So there are really two questions on Korach. Rashi asks both of them. Why did he get involved? And why did he get involved in the foolishness? He got involved because of the Nesios. The foolishness with the Kuna Gedoyla, it's because his eyes tricked him. Next, Ha'ara. Dasan and Aviram get a message from Moshe Rabbeinu. The message is, please come. Moshe was Poseach b'Shalom. So they said, now we're not coming. Ha'anoshim ha'im tenaker. You could poke out the eyes of those people who are not coming up. Rashi says, what do they mean, those people? They were talking about themselves. They were saying, even if you were to poke out my eyes, I wouldn't come. So why are they saying those people? So Rashi says it's like someone who hinges the curse on his friend. Meaning they were worried about the effect of their words, because they understood that if a person makes a klala and he says it about themselves, it could be harmful. So I just point out, the worst balei machlokes are the frum balei machlokes. Think about it. They're arguing with the Gadol Hadar. They're basically being brazen to Moshe Rabbeinu. But of course they're worried about the frumkeit, chas v'shalom, not to say a klala on themselves. Look how careful they are with every single word. They could be simultaneously being mavazel, the greatest person who ever lived, the noisei na Torah, and while they're doing it, they're makbid on every chumrah that they're very careful about. It just highlights the, as someone once said, when it comes to self-deception, every man is a genius. Here you have Dasan Aviram, they're being mavaza Moshe Rabbeinu, but chas v'shalom, they don't want to ayin hara. No, chas v'shalom and ayin hara. Okay. Then another ha'ara, mamish hara pshuta. It says, then Moshe Rabbeinu got up and he went to Dasan Aviram. Rashi says that Moshe Rabbeinu thought that they would show him some favor. So just to point out, even though Moshe already sent them a message, and they rejected it, and the reason Moshe sent them a message is, Rashi says, from here we learn, Ein machzikim b'machloikes, that even though Dasan Aviram was wrong, Moshe Rabbeinu went out of his way to put the machloikes to bay. Nevertheless, right, Rashi said earlier, Shahaya Moshe mechazar achareim lahashlimam b'divrei shalom, and they said loy na'aleh. So what's he doing now? The answer is now he's going even beyond. Now he's going himself. Right, in Pasuk Perek Tezai and Pasuk Yadalet, now it's Pasuk Chav Hey. Now Moshe Rabbeinu vayakam v'yachal Dasan Aviram. This is even a further attempt. Okay, then I have a remez at the end of the Parsha. Maybe it has some significance. The Parsha begins, Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar. The end of the Parsha, it says, Perek Perek Yud Ches. I think we got the wrong pasuk over here. Yud Ches, it should be Yud Beis. It says, Kol Chelev Yitzhar v'Kol Chelev Tirash v'Dagan Reishi Sham Asher Yitnu L'Hashem L'cha Nesatim. We know that the Bnei Korach did tshuva, but it's interesting. There's no remez in the parsha that they did tshuva. As far as the storyline goes, all the men were lost. But maybe at the end of the parsha it says, Kol Chelev Yitzhar, all the good fat of Yitzhar, meaning the best that Yitzhar had to offer. Who's the best that Yitzhar? Literally, Yitzhar are the grapes. It's talking about the Parsha of Truma, but maybe it's a remez, the Chelev of Yitzhar, the good descendants of Yitzhar, namely the Bnei Korach. They're Yitnu L'Hashem. They gave themselves over to Hashem. Maybe that's a remez that in the end of the day, the Bnei Korach did tshuva. Again, the Parsha begins, Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar, so part of the descendants of Yitzhar went lost. But maybe there's a remez that some of them were able to return. Kol Chela of Yitzhar, the good part of Yitzhar, they were Yitnu Lashem. Okay, just a thought. That is some thoughts on Parshas Korach. Now some imponderables.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.